Hello traders everywhere, Adam Hewison here, president of INO.com and co-creator of MarketClub with your video market update for Thursday, the 21st of March. Well, March Madness started today at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. I'm of course referring to the NCAA basketball March Madness season. But a bigger madness could be taking place on an island in the Mediterranean called Cyprus. And this is going to have potentially big ramifications for all the markets, both here and in Asia and, of course, Europe. And this is the situation as we see it right now. The banks are closed, which means you can't take your money out. They're going to reopen on Tuesday, and we would not be surprised to see a bank run that could have, which if it's not contained, could have really a major problem throughout Europe as more and more depositors distrust the banks, and that's a really big one to be looking at. So let's go right to our portfolio manager in our portfolio page. We'll start with the industrials and get started on that. And these continue to move high. A little bit of profit taking today, but you can see we're being pretty flat here for the past 6 days. But nonetheless, the trend is very clearly established. We have a bullish trend. We are overbought, but as you can see, we can stay overbought for quite some time. If you just look at the lower level right here, you can see we stayed overbought for probably a month and a half. So it's very possible we could continue to stay overbought for that same period right here. So let's just see how that plays out. But nonetheless, the trend is your friend. Tomorrow is going to be a very, very important day in my mind, simply because it's Friday. And Fridays, where the market closes, tends to tell you where we are going to be for the rest of the week. So here we are. We closed last Friday at 14,514. We're 14,468, so we're probably about 50 points lower for the week. Not a big deal, but it'd be nice to see this market close higher tomorrow. We'll see how that works out. But next market is going to be the S&P 500. Again, this market closed last Friday, March 15th, at 1560. We're currently 1553, about 7 points lower. I'll have to see how this plays out. But generally speaking, we're getting less overbought, but it's still an overbought situation. But we still have our trade triangles plus 85, indicating that the trend is still higher. So only one bit of a concern here is the fact you have moved below the parabolic. These little dotted lines right here, we have moved below that, indicating that the trend is somewhat sideways to susceptible to go down. You can see the volume here, and we're just beginning to potentially cross over in the MACD. So that definitely is a little bit worrisome. So let's move on. And remember, our target zone all along has been 1550 to 1560, so we're right in that zone right now. On the NASDAQ, we're seeing this market, again, play around, largely influenced by Apple, but again, it's sort of been moving sideways. It's lower for the week, and I think that's going to be the key thing. One thing I like to look at, as I say, at the end of the week, certainly tomorrow I'll be looking at this, is to move the dailies to the weeklies and just take a look at the weeklies. You can see it's lower for the week, but it's actually closed off. It's higher than when it opened, because if you may remember, Cyprus was front and center on last Monday, and a lot of pressure on the markets. But I think if we were to see the market go, I would say over the opening, over the high of the opening, I should say, I think that would be a positive sign. So where we are currently trading now at 3,235, if we were to go over that, I think that would be a good sign. So let's see how things play out on this market. Moving along to our next market, which is gold. There's a Forex spot. You can see right here we are in a zone where we've actually had a couple of good weeks. Still haven't turned all the triangles around, only the daily. And we're getting up to, I think, the 1640 to 1650 was resistance for us. And we'll have to watch this market very carefully, because a couple of things to look at. One, you're very oversold here. We're just beginning to flatten out. You can see the lines are flattening out. There are little gray lines there, and we're just beginning to make that turn with a blue line. Haven't quite made it yet, so I think we need to see some more action there. But however, there's an explosive situation going on in Europe, which could evolve in this market becoming very, very bullish. So let me move back to a daily chart. And you can see we're at the top of the Donchian trade channel. We have gone over the parabolics, which is great. And on the daily chart, we have made the turn. So again, Longer term, we may not be in the bull market we want to be, but generally speaking, we're beginning to see a turn up in this market. In the euro is choppy. Well, you can see for the last several days, we've gone nowhere. And last Friday, let's see, that's the 17th. We closed at 130.74, so we're lower for the week, which is what you want to look at. And this, of course, was the Sunday, the Cyprus thing that happened on the week, because Forex is traded like 6 days a week, so this is a Sunday. So anyway, we see we're lower for the week, and it still doesn't look good. You can see we've been oversold for quite some time, but the market hasn't really gotten itself into a strong trend. We expect that to happen with all of our trade triangles in a red mode, negative mode. Crude oil, we moved to the May contract. Please understand we moved from April to May, so this is the one we're following now, May 2013. And you can see we're sort of up here, and the parabolic's getting very close here. We've seen a little bit of a divergence here, not very strongly, as you see right here. That's not a good strong sign, but you can see we have turned up here. We are in our trade triangles. We have a monthly, longer term, intermediate term is negative, short term positive. So a mixed signal, 65 trading range, and that reflects the action we're seeing every day here, up and down, up and down, up and down. Tomorrow's going to be a very big day. This is where we closed last Friday. We closed at 93.90. We're 92.66, so we're down for the week. Let's see how that plays out. But let's go to our next market. This is a stock that you may want to take a look at. It's called Paychex. New all-time high closing yesterday. Cleared all this area here, and this is what we like about the stock, and I'll show you how we like it. First of all, we have all of our trade triangles positive, plus 100, very good score. And you also have this big sort of energy field that's here. This is a big base of action. And you just simply draw the line around here. And you can see yesterday was a clear breakout. We're higher for the week, of course. If we see this market close higher tomorrow, I should say, it's going to look very, very good for a weekend trade. So watch this Paychex, P-A-Y-X. Very good. All systems go on this one. So let's clear our screens, go to our next market. And the next market we're looking at is going to be Apple. And Apple is, first of all, let me just say we just got out of Apple. This is the signal we had at 455. It's 456 right now, not a big deal. But we covered our short positions. That's an important element to remember. This market appears to be trying to make a base, and longer term, you scope this out to the max, you can see what this market's done. It's had a huge pullback. So is it possible to go to 500, maybe 550? Absolutely. And maybe it's this smartwatch what people are talking about. We've been talking about it for 2 or 3 weeks now, and I think that we need to see that play. But I definitely would not be short Apple at this point in time. I think it's too little, too late. You've missed the move if you're trying to short it. I think you want to give this market some breathing room. And I think one of the first indicators we're going to have, and let me just clear everything off the screen, take our triangles off, take everything off the dungeon trade channels and also the parabolic, and just look at a very simple chart. And this is how I like to look at some things. And let's take our trend line from the highs here, the recent highs, and draw it down. Boom. Certainly it's cleared over that, so the momentum, at least for the moment, is turned back up. If we scope this down, you can see we've turned back up in the MACD, which is a good sign, but it's still not altogether there yet. You don't want to be short, and you don't want to be long, in my opinion, just yet. Give the market a little more time, but if I had to do anything right now in Apple, I'd want to be long as opposed to short. Hey, this is Adam Hewison. We'll be looking at the markets tomorrow, so stay tuned for that, and we'll see what happens then with Cyprus, the end of the week closing, and how this market, which is trading very quietly today, by the way, and that's something to be a little bit, I think it's bullish. When markets tend to be very, very active when they make tops, and we're just very, very quiet today. So I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Thanks for stopping by.